What comes in your mind when you think of space and planets? Isn't it NASA? The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, is one of the most prominent institutions in the United States. It is responsible for many of America's best moments in its research and achievements and is one of the largest budgets of any institution. In the United States, NASA is equipped to fund a number of high-profile research. But by working with Elon Musk, NASA has opened up even more possibilities. The latest example is the discovery of Musk discovered by NASA on Neptune and how it affects Neptune. Let's go through the crazy new discoveries about Elon Musk and NASA's Neptune. As the most iconic agency in the US, NASA has been responsible for a majority of discoveries in space which were conducted by humans. NASA is well equipped with both the funds and the equipment to see into the farthest that reaches of the known universe. NASA's potential is almost limitless, as if nothing would stop them explore the farthest in the space. NASA was the first ever space agency who sent human to the moon. Also, NASA has every sort of equipment that they use for the journey in space. They work days and night to know more about the space and planets and galaxies. Many other countries are falling behind in the competition of space race. Most of the news that NASA provides regarding space or any spaceships are beyond expectation or imagination. They have also made many impossible to possible. On the other hand, Elon Musk, a billionaire, extraordinarily brilliant, who has huge thirst for technology and things beyond the Earth. Elon Musk, being a potential person, has created many impossible technologies which could actually give us the opportunities to know what is there in the space and how a company like SpaceX has taken the full responsibility of developing ingenious spacecrafts. Maybe this was possible because Elon Musk himself took the initiatives to make all this happen. And his zeal has gotten himself in this current position. Now imagine, two individual potential like NASA and Elon Musk with SpaceX, take the responsibility to explore space. As NASA have already teamed up with the infamous Elon Musk. As one of the greatest inventors of our time, Musk has already opened up entirely new possibilities for making huge organizations even more powerful. Even planets as close as Neptune seem to hold secrets which was only revealed by Musk and NASA recently. What did NASA find out about Neptune? Do you know how much time and distance it takes to travel from one continent to other? Well, as for the Voyager 2, it took 12 years to reach at Neptune from Earth. Voyager 2's journey is heading in the opposite direction of its twins, Voyager 1. The spacecraft reached the planet Neptune in 1989, 12 years after it was launched from Earth. What it had discovered when it reached near and found out overwhelming facts about Neptune. The spacecraft took first images of the planet, including its ring, and more interesting fact, the spacecraft discovered a massive storm in the planet. NASA scientists did not anticipate the storm that Voyager 2 sent the images. It captured that the storm was in the southern hemisphere, manifesting as a maximum counterclockwise wind 1,500 miles per hour or 2,414 kilometers/h. It had a record being the strongest in history. Astronomers called it the Great Dark Spot. 5 years later, it was finally revealed by the Hubble Space Telescope, and they were sure that they actually saw the storm in the planet. This led to many questions like why the wind was so strong. Not only that, the scientists had also noticed something unusual that kept them in puzzle. The matter was about Neptune's temperature. Through Voyager 2, the scientists found out that the Neptune is actually warmer than Uranus, whereas Neptune is located far away from the Sun. In space science, it is a fact that, the more distance a planet has from Sun, it becomes more cooler in temperature. However, for Neptune it was completely opposite. Being far enough from Sun, it had more temperature than Uranus. Strange, right? And no one knew from where the heat was coming. Now, scientists have two different questions in their mind. One is, why Neptune has this strong wind and the elevated temperature? All these behaviors were nothing but mystery. Well, that doesn't mean that scientists were sitting quietly. They actually speculated that how they can unravel the mystery, and they have come to an end that, solving one puzzle can answer the other. Scientists tried to measure the temperature of Neptune. However, measuring the temperature of Neptune is not so easy. For example, each planet has different way to find out its temperature. Like for Earth, the temperature can be known from its solid surface, whereas for Mars, it is not possible to know the temperature from surface as it is full of gas compounds. So, if they need to take the Neptune temperature, it must be the altitude. But there comes another situation. This is where they need to come up with another decision, that is what will be the altitude that the Voyager can approach. There is something else about Voyager 2 temperature measurements. Certainly, it took the temperature from the outermost layer of Neptune, and at this point Neptune's temperature is not as high as Uranus. But since Neptune is far from the Sun, it takes less solar light, but that is not the case. According to Anthony Del Genio of the NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies, Voyager's measurements show Neptune emits more than twice as much heat as it absorbs from the Sun, while Uranus does not. In fact, Uranus makes it strange that other planets like Jupiter and Saturn also emit more heat than they absorb from the Sun. As already mentioned, the course of temperature becomes lower as you move away from the Sun. It shows that Jupiter is the warmest of the gas giants. Next is Saturn, then Neptune. Uranus seems to a person who is not for this place. Neptune is finding a way to warm itself up to the level of Uranus, while the latter is unable to generate any extra heat other than that gleaned from the Sun. So, is it possible for Neptune to produce internal heat? Internal heat is heat left over from the birth of the solar system when these planets were formed. The heat contracts out of the primitive solar nebula, forming an effect known as the Kelvin-Helmholtz contraction. However, the questions are still there. To find all these answers, with NASA as sponsor and Elon Musk as tech genius, they are poised to unleash amazing new discoveries in space, starting with Mars and then progressing to Neptune. Elon Musk recently confirmed a Neptune mission with NASA in 2031, and it will be huge. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk is an ambitious person who plans to colonize Mars and is ready to explore other planets in search of signs of life. This time around, Neptune is a planet that has shown some signs of a habitable environment for humans. So, SpaceX signed a contract with NASA and sent a mission to discover the planet there. With the help of NASA's Hubble telescope, it has found that there is new mysterious dark storm is approaching Neptune. Not only that, like the Earth, Neptune has seasons that can determine some of its atmospheric characteristics. But the seasons are much longer than Earth, lasting decades instead of months. Neptune storms appear to follow patterns that form, strengthen, and dissipate in about 2 years on Earth. But the Neptune storm, detected in the planet's atmosphere over 2 years ago, did something very different. It turned around and is still getting stronger. Scientists say this new storm pattern is something new. On the other hand, Elon Musk and SpaceX has been working on spaceships which will explore around the space. And it can take human to space well. With all that they are trying to develop those spaceships so that those can be refueled. But the rocket could also revolutionize what we know about our neighboring planets and moons. At the heart of many of these ideas is not only that Starship is big, but also that it's cheap to launch. Institutions like NASA and ESA need to carefully select some missions with launch costs of tens to hundreds of millions of dollars to raise funds, but the affordability of Starship is even more. May open the door to your mission. In one hand, NASA would provide the funding for space mission and equipment, and on other hands, Elon Musk will provide his potent technology skills and spaceships, and this team will do wonder together. If this mission becomes successful, the door of many other discoveries in the space will be wide open. There will be no barrier that can stop human being to travel around the space like they travel around the continents.